Cadence AWR Microwave Office is a powerful tool to simulate RF-aware layout, frequency models, and monolithic microwave ICs. This is a 20-video series to learn AWR Microwave Office from scratch. In this video, we will learn the GUI of AWR design environment and create our first project. So let's get started. In the first step of this tutorial, we are going to run AWR Microwave Office environment from the Start menu. And from here, you can able to select the licenses. In my case, I'm going to use MWO226 license, which has the features of linear simulation, harmonic balance simulation, layout, etc. If you want, you can select or deselect the features you want to include in your simulation. In my case, I'm just going with this default configuration and click over OK button. So as soon as the AWR design environment window will open, before starting our very first project, I'm just going to discuss some GUI menus and options. So first start with project browser. So under project browser, you can see there are various options under which we can create new schematic. We can select project options to vary the frequencies and units we want to simulate for. Similarly, we can add or remove EM layout, simulation results, etc., which we will see throughout this tutorial series. Next, you can see element browser. So in the element browser, you will find all the elements from the default library of AWR, and we can just drag and drop these components in the schematic, which we will see just after a few minutes. Apart from these elements, you can also access more elements from the central library of AWR, which you can access by pressing Ctrl L on your keyboard. But before that, you have to have the schematic created and then you can access that library. We'll see that when we'll be creating our new project. So next we have layout browser. So layout browser controls the drawing layer in a layout window, and it is where the cell library and the layout process files are located. So we'll know more about these when we'll be creating our very first layout. And next we have this status window. So in status window, we'll find all the errors, warning, and the status information of the project or the simulation we are going to run. And apart from that, it has a lot of menus and windows which you can access by these tabs. We have a couple of shortcuts as well. For example, this is for running the simulation, and we are going to see these shortcuts as well throughout this AWR tutorial series. So that's pretty much from the GUI side. Next, we are going to create our first project. So to create our first schematic, we'll just go to project browser, and here you will find this circuit schematic tab. We'll just right click here and click over new schematic. Let's name it first circuit. Click over create button. So as you can see, the schematic canvas is created now, and here we are going to add different type of elements which we wanted to simulate. So let's start with just placing a simple DC source and a resistive load on it. To do that, so there are various ways to place elements. Either we can go to elements tab, and from here we can select the DC source. So in our case, we are going to place DC voltage source, and you can just simply drag and drop it. To rotate the component, just hit right click, alright, and you can just place it. And after placing the components, if you want to change the location of it, you can just select it and place it somewhere else. Another way to place the elements is from the center library. So for that, you have to press Ctrl L on your keyboard, and it will direct us to this library window. And here you can just simply search. And here you'll find all these options. So in our case, we are going to place DC voltage source. Just select it and click over OK button. So yeah, you can place it like that. I always prefer to use Ctrl L shortcut in my keyboard instead of just searching the components under these different tabs, right? You can just select it and press delete, or you can just press escape if you wanted to remove any component. So after placing this DC source, we are just going to add one ground on it on the negative terminal. So you can directly place ground from here. You can search ground here from this tab or press Ctrl L and place element from that. So I'll just place one ground on the negative terminal of VDC. Next, we are going to place a resistive load on this VDC. To do that, we'll press Ctrl L on our keyboard and search resistor here. And if you'll scroll down, you'll find, here we go. So you'll find this closed form resistor. Just click over OK or hit enter. And then we have to connect this to close the circuit. So to make the connection between these two components or these two elements, you have to just hover your cursor on one of the terminal and this add wire symbol will be there on your cursor. So you have to just click and then click on other terminal, and here you can see it's connected now. Similarly, you can connect the other terminal. So yeah, you can see here we have 1 ohm of resistance on 1 volt of DC source. And if you'll simply apply Ohm's law, so as per Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So the current will be flowing from this voltage source will be 1 amp, right? Now we are sort of ready to run the simulation, but before running the simulation, we have to add the annotation. So we want to simulate this circuit for voltage and current, all right? So to add the annotation, we'll just go to Project tab, right click on the schematic. And here you will find Add Annotation button. Just select that. Now from here we want to annotate all the DC current and voltage, which will be DCVA underscore N, and just apply. And another will be DCIA. So this is for voltage and this is for all the current values. Apply and OK. Now to run the simulation, we'll just hit Run Simulation button, and here you can see as of now we don't have any error or warning, and we can simply see as per Ohm's law, the amount of current will be flowing through this DC source is 1 amps. Alright, so this is a sort of simple simulation. I just wanted to discuss the entire functionality, how AWR works. So let's save this project. To do that, we'll go to File, click over Save Project, and I'm going to save it on desktop and save. In the next video, we'll talk about current source circuit simulations. For more tutorials, visit us at resources.emaeda.com and don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel.